Nigeria is facing a deepening unemployment crisis with nearly 80 million young people currently out of work. Despite 1.7 million graduates entering the labor market each year, the economy lacks the capacity to absorb them, leaving many stuck in poverty or informal jobs. This alarming situation was highlighted in the State of the Nigerian Youth Report 2025, presented during the Nigerian Youth Dialogue held in Abuja. The report also reviewed the devastating effects of insecurity, which has led to over 600,000 deaths and displaced 1 million children due to school closures. With 93% of jobs being informal, experts warn that urgent reforms are needed to secure the future of Nigeria's young population. And now joining us in the studio is an IT lawyer and socio-economic development analyst, that is Jed Oyeneye. And of course, I have Banwo Olagokun, who is also an activist, and they will be sharing their perspectives with us on the news. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us.
Yeah, the pleasure is mine.
So let me start with Jed. Now, in your view, what would you say are the main barriers to creating sustainable jobs for young Nigerians today?
All right, so the problem we have in Nigeria is the fact that there's supply, but there's no demand. So even if you have 10 million youths, if you don't have demand for them, no matter how much skills they have, no matter how much they upskill, there's nothing to, absorb that youthful energy. And also, that's the real problem I see. We don't have an economy that is designed to absorb all the volume of about 1.9 million or thereabouts that comes out of our universities, polytechnics, and what have you. So that's the main challenge I see.
All right, I understand, Jed. So let me come to Banwo. Some argue that youth need to be more proactive, while others say that the system is designed to block them. Where do you stand on this?
I stand on the promises of Mr. President. During the campaign in 2023, he promised that he's going to decrease the purchasing power of the Nigerian people on national TV. And that's exactly what he has done. If you want to reduce the purchasing power of the citizens, it means you want to make products and livelihood out of their affordability. And he has done that. And, by removing the subsidy, making the fuel to skyrocket from less than 200 to over 1,000 naira, and now 900 or something naira. So if you create a policy that can make production to be unaffordable for the biggest companies, the biggest companies in Nigeria left. Unilever has been in Nigeria since 1923, but they left Nigeria in 2023 because they couldn't afford to produce anymore. That is one of the biggest companies, biggest production companies in Nigeria. GlaxoSmithKline left Nigeria. Diageo, the owner of Guinness, left Nigeria. PZ Cussons left Nigeria. Toyota Energies left Nigeria. Most of them are citing, all of them rather, they are citing insecurity. They are citing cost of production, that is the cost of fuel, the cost of custom duty, and the cost of logistics to deliver their goods. So if these big companies can be running out of Nigeria, you can't expect the citizens to have magic of supply and demand. They can't even demand anything when the government is deliberately trying to reduce their purchasing power as promised, and have even frustrated the biggest companies out of the country. So I'm standing on the side of the people and reflecting on the promises of the federal government, saying they will reduce the purchasing power and make life unbearable for the citizens. And that's what they have done. And you don't expect a country where we have lost over 12 multinationals. You have lost one of the biggest producers ever, and you expect the citizens to get a job. They can't even get a job because where insecurity is not murdering the farmers in Banwo, mass retrenchment is happening in companies that have already employed hundreds of thousands of people for over 75 years. So the government knows what they are doing, and the hardship is deliberately just
orchestrated, so to speak.
People. They want to make sure that.
Yeah, I understand. I understand, Banwo. I'll come to you in a while.
The World Bank.
I'll come to you in a while. Just stay with me. Let me quickly get Jed's reaction to this. Also, time what you've said to what it's on board. Now, we understand that the system is flawed, Jed. But then people say that the digital economy could be a solution. But is that realistic when we have so many Nigerian youths who lack basic access to technology, the right skills and infrastructure?
Yeah, so I think I would like us to appreciate the scale of this problem. So if we are saying 80 million Nigerian youths are unemployed, basically we are saying the population, the entire population of Germany lives in Nigeria and don't contribute to the economy in any way. So basically we the ones that are at least basically employed are the ones who suffer it because we are the ones that have to, cater for their needs and all like that. Now talking about the digital economy, I believe strongly that Nigerian youths are not entirely out of the scope of the digital economy in terms of skills. We have basic skills that can be very, very useful. For example, we know about customer care service. You see Indians with their accents, you see they call you hello, and when you call them, they attend to it. So we don't necessarily need to have all the skills or, the big skills, the AI skills and all. There are some skills as basic as customer care, because we speak English here in Nigeria. There are skills as basic as IT front desk that everybody can, learn and just use to contribute to the digital economy. So I think we can even start from there because I'm a proponent of solution rather than just facing the problem only. So that's my view about this.
Okay, so Banwo, earlier on you were saying something around the genuineness, the political will, so to speak, of people in power, both at the federal and subnational levels, to solve youth unemployment in the country. How do we now hold them accountable, or how do we push them to actually do the right thing for the Nigerian youth?
When you have insensitive leaders in power, people that made vows to punish the citizens, the only solution for me as an activist and a citizen who is also a victim of the cost of electricity, victim of the neoliberal policies of the APC government, I think the solution is to protest and resist, because there is no solution in a country where you can't afford, the biggest employers cannot afford the electricity. For example, the policy, the increase in electricity tariff backfired so much that even the government agencies and ministry, including Aso Rock, they are owing PHCN 47.1 billion naira. They couldn't pay 47.1 billion naira until PHCN went public and disgraced them. Aso Rock, for example, is owing the PHCN 938 million naira. So I don't know what my friend in the studio thinks about that. If the federal government agencies and the presidential palace cannot afford their own electricity tariff, so much that they opted for a 10 billion naira solar for the presidential palace, which is Aso Rock, how much more somebody that wants to learn digital skills? How many liters of fuel do you want to buy in a day if you can't afford to buy electricity? And how many units of electricity can a small-scale businessman buy per week? How much, people used to just buy 2,000 naira electricity and they use it for almost 1 month. But now, if you buy 10,000 naira electricity, you only use it for 2 weeks. So the solution to this is to resist the neoliberal policies of the government. This is not where you prefer, you sing poetry to a swordsman. Saying you want to just use a solution in the IT or one department or one facet of the economy to fight unemployment is impossible, because people will still have to enter buses to where they want to learn or where they want to render services. People will still need electricity. And for crying out loud, the tax reform bill, the tax reform agenda of the president also increased data. It caused increments in data. So people cannot even afford to buy data as much as that they used to. You will need a lot of money to buy data to do whatever you want to do. So
what you're saying is
the power is decreased, and the government is hell-bent. The government is hell-bent. The government is hell-bent on making life difficult. So without resistance, without protest, without a nationwide protest.
Thank you so much, Banwo Olagokun. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us. We appreciate your contribution. And of course, I'm Jed Oyeneye. It was nice talking to you guys on the news.